Good morning, warriors. Welcome, and everyone else. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but welcome to part 2 of 4 in a series on resiliency in times of crisis. Before I get started, I want to mention the mission of Wellness for Warriors again. The mission of Wellness for Warriors is helping heroes, and our motto is no one left behind. Wellness for Warriors is a network of support and resources for first responders and their families. Support which is dedicated to the health and overall wellness of our community's first responders, which include but are not limited to both current and retired EMS workers, emergency department workers, firefighters, law enforcement, military, and their families. Wellness for Warriors uses a holistic approach, and our primary areas of support are physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental. Phew, that was a mouthful. And has it been a wild week or what? I'm going with or what. Like any baby boomer, I have survived several epidemics, pandemics, race wars, protests, wars, riots, bad stuff. So here we are again, playing it moment by moment. Until we get to the other side of it, what can we do? What should we do? Let's work on building resiliency. Last week I offered some tips about resiliency, setting goals, having a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year goal, or whatever variation you choose. But have a plan. Have a plan on where you want to be here and maybe a year, 5 year, 10 years down the road. Goals are good. I mentioned having a social life, being intentional about having a social life with others other than the people you work with or of the same chosen career profession. Spiritual life. Again, being intentional about your spiritual life is essential to building resiliency and the ability to bounce back. Studies after studies have shown that people who actively nurture their spiritual life, they heal faster from injury or illness. This week I'm going to offer a few more. And the first one I really should have mentioned last week because it should be at the top of your list. And that is to have a plan. The time to create a plan is not when you need one. Because Wellness for Warriors exists for first responders and their families, I'm addressing you right now. Whether you admit it or not, if you are exposed to trauma on a regular basis, it is not a matter of if, but a matter of when you're going to develop one of the 4 types of stress. The 4 types of stress are acute stress, delayed stress, cumulative stress, and post-traumatic stress. And for the record, I will probably repeat this many times as you get to know me, but these and any of their subsequent feelings, thoughts, emotions, stuff that comes with these types of stress, they are normal. You haven't lost your mind. It's you, your heart, your mind, your soul, stuff you've been through adds up. And if we don't have an outlet or take steps to build resiliency, we are pretty much doomed to burnout and or worst case scenarios. So remember, normal. You are normal. You haven't lost it. You aren't going crazy or anything, because all kinds of emotions and thoughts will come and go. Many people believe resilience means someone is not impacted by stress. Resiliency is actually the ability to bounce back from the various kinds of stress. I'll talk more about that in weeks to come. At any rate, back to the plan. have a plan. When something happens, and it will, if you're in a first responder role for a career, it will. It's just a matter of time. But have a plan, like who to call. If you don't already have a peer-to-peer support person in your Rolodex, and for those of you who don't know what a Rolodex is, think contact list in your phone. Besides a peer-to-peer support person, a spiritual care provider, even if you don't see that person on a regular basis, it's good to have one at your at the ready. These resources are good when the bottom is dropped out or evil has made a violent entry into your being, like we had last week with SPD, heartache, chaos, etc., etc. You get my drift. Some other suggestions to have in your plan would be a backup place for your family to go in case they need to move somewhere temporarily. Also, an essential person to have at the ready to call, be a licensed professional counselor. They can help with a lot of different things. Next would be hydration and nutrition. Although these are pretty self-explanatory, sometimes we just need a nudge or a reminder. But just remember to eat as healthy as you can for most of your meals. Avoid foods, of course, high in fat, and try to get your protein early in the day, and that includes third shifters. I found out recently from Dr. Jim Davis, who did a presentation or a series on sleep and relaxation, which you can go back and check the video archives with Wellness for Warriors. There's some really good information in there. But he said studies have now shown that the protein that we eat early in the day turns to melatonin later in the day, which will help you sleep. So remember that. And then stay hydrated. Sleep. Sleep is the last one. The value of sleep and its overarching benefits for our overall well-being and resilience cannot be overstated. Good rest equals a greater ability to learn, be alert, awareness, and the list goes on and on. Third shifters. I was a third shifter for probably 20 years of my life, and it took me a while to figure it out, but you're going to get your best rest if you blacken your room. I mean pitch black, like not a ray of sunlight coming in anywhere, and have some white noise, like a fan running. If you have a cold bone and you don't want the fan running in your room, they have fan apps now that you can get for your phone. So have a plan. Number one, first and foremost, have people in the plan that you can contact, when things happen. Tragedy strikes, the bottom drops out, whatever, you name it, a bad call. Hydration, nutrition, real important, and rest. Thing I might add about third shifters and those who work 24-hour shifts is on your time off, rest whenever you can. If you feel like taking a nap, take a nap. I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago, but naps, don't underestimate them. It's good for the body and the mind. So that's it for this presentation. How about next week? I want to give you guys some a homework assignment. Because so many of us have been given the gift of extra time at home, next week we'd like to bring some suggestions on making the most of this time, as well as things to avoid. Keep it light, keep it simple, humorous, keep it clean, please. Send your suggestions between now and next Tuesday, and I will read some of them. Be sure to join us next week. Thanks for all you do. And everyone, please be kind to one another. Take it easy on each other. Everyone is overworked and stressed to the max right now. Peace out, warriors.